can't believe it. I genuinely can't believe it. How can someone be so reckless and naive? Releasing the displacer beasts is one thing, but after they've brutalized the town's hero and mayor, you don't do that shit again. Even less so, you don't turn your back on a wild beast. Maybe something in that portal water made him go wonky. Maybe it was all this chaos magic mess. Maybe it was the revenge for me taking off the door hinges. I don't know, but something is not right with Felix. And then Treos and Kai made it seem like I'm the crazy one for blowing up on him like that. I don't know, but this is gonna take some time to figure out everything.
Let's begin. Where we last left off, our brave adventurers ventured out from the bandit cave system where they had rescued Alis Mournhell, the second in command of the Bestiary Guild, who had been sent as an envoy to collect Father Jezre for a ceremony in his honor as the Priest of Miracles. You brought her back to the village of Northbray, the outpost, only to find that Yorvin and Thrain had not yet returned from their search for survivors on the envoy attack. So you've brought Alis back to the temple where Father Jezre gave you all bedrolls and dinner and settled you all down, and stepped outside only to be followed by a very curious and inquisitive Felix, who was able to get some new answers from him about his own experience with chaos magic, what these stones did, and unleash a strange reaction from one of the stones that coalesced on Felix's skin, leaving him something. Before you then set out on a nighttime search and rescue mission for, this time, not the survivors of the envoy, but the search and rescue mission of Yorvan and Thrain. You ran into Lilith, who had been definitely not trying to steal some dead bodies for her own research, and found Yorvan, stabilized him from his claw wounds, and sent him back with Lilith. You ventured back into the caves where you were able to find the second displacer beast in a portal that took you to another room. You messed about with the room, stole another remnant of what appeared to be chaos magic, took the hinges off the door, and released the displacer beast before teleporting back to this bandit cave. And that is where we left it. So as you zip back into this cave, standing waist high in this large glittering pool at about 2 a.m, pretty late, you take a look and you hear the sound of a fluttering wing, and you see Elliot, who's just kind of perched curiously at the edge of the pool, watching you all with big eyes, and he makes a sound in his mouth curiously. But as the anxiety and the stress of this cave, of the other cave, leaves your bones, what are you doing?
I believe Ryse has already left out the way we came in and is going to be looking for Thrain in the nearby woods to see if he can find him.
Okay, yeah. Ryse, immediately after your previous tense conversations from the last session, you are storming out of this, through the tapestried door, back into the woods beyond.
I think Kai's just gonna sit there for a while and just look at Felix and look back out the tapestry door where Ryse left, and then look back at Felix and just stay silent with his thoughts for a little bit.
You can probably see tears welling up in the sides of his eyes, but he's trying to compose himself. He's probably going to walk over to Elliot.
Elliot sort of curls around Felix's feet, fluttering his wings, blinking up at him.
He's quiet.
All right. Treos, what are you doing?
I'll just kind of glance over at Kai, just see just like a little thumbs up or so if Felix is okay. If if something seems worse than it is now. And based on his response, I'll just start walking with Ryse, trying to catch up to him.
I'll give a little nod and kind of saying like, I'll talk to him. You go ahead.
Okay. Just thumbs up and walk off, try to catch up to Ryse.
Okay. As you try and catch up to Ryse, you've probably made it to the end of this cave system at this point, stepping back out into the forest. The night has fallen around it. You hear the soft hooting of an owl in the distance and the rustle of leaves. But I would like you to roll a perception check for me as you are scanning and looking for Thrain.
Five.
5? Yeah, you step out and you take a big deep breath as the stale air from the cave system gives way to the fresh, crisp night air. And you start looking, but the soft glimmer of the pool, sort of your eyes still have to adjust to the dark now that you're stepping back out into the forest, so it's a little hard to see anything. You do hear the footsteps of Treos as he quickly hustles up behind you. Treos, if you are looking, roll a perception check for me if you're just trying to catch up with Ryse.
At this point, I don't know what Ryse is looking for, so I just kind of question him. So, okay, I don't know how to respond. I get it, we're in a tough situation right now, but you good? You okay?
Yeah.
What are we doing now?
We're gonna find Thrain.
The short one, the little one, I guess.
Yeah, the old one.
Okay, and then I'll roll perception to kind of start looking around.
All right, roll away.
That is a 21.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You go. Okay. Yeah. We're looking for a Thrain now, and you scan, and almost immediately you hear a muttered curse come from somewhere above your head.
Just like it's the second I hear that, my ears perk up, and I just slowly look up to see where the noise came from.
Yeah. Your head slowly tilts up, and you see, illuminated by the moon high above, a figure crouched in one of the trees above you. And the figure just looks down and goes, Is it gone?
Yeah, we got it taken care of for a little bit. It's safe to come down.
And he's going to sort of half fall, half slide down the trunk of the tree and land in a not very gainly heap, but he just sort of pushes himself up and brushes him off. Waiting for the damn beast to just go before I could go back. Did you get it?
Yeah, we managed to tie it down, hold it in place for a bit till we figure out what to do with him later.
And he's just gonna grunt. And Yorvin, is he? We got separated when we were running.
We found him. We managed to get him somewhere safe.
Good.
How long were you up there?
And he's just going to look up. Too long.
Okay, let's get you back somewhere safe the rest of the night, okay?
He's gonna nod and just start limping his way back in the direction of what you assume is home. On the way, he's gonna grab a stick and use it as a cane to keep walking.
Ryse, should we tell them we managed to find Thrain?
If you want to let them know, I'll walk back with them.
Okay, I'll give them a heads up and go back to the cave.
All right. As before we get to you going back to the cave and you heading off, we're gonna jump back to the cave as Treos heads out. Felix and Kai, what are y'all doing?
Kai's gonna sit there like thinking like an uncomfortable amount of time before he just kind of he he shouldn't have been that hard on you. I know you wanted to do good. You've got probably the best heart I have ever seen. And you want to help everyone and everything, Felix. We just got to think a little bit sometimes. But are you okay?
He's gonna kind of slide down the wall that he's been sort of leaning against, and he just, you kind of hear kind of lightly, just, I didn't mean, and he catches himself. I just never mind. I I just, I wasn't trying to be stupid or be a burden.
Felix, it's okay. I know you weren't trying to mess up. No one tries to mess up. It's just something that we do. There's little that's guaranteed to you. But the fact that you'll make a mistake is probably the most certain thing.
I just don't know how to fix this.
It's not something that you can fix in the sense of, repair. It's something that you can fix going forward. Can I tell you a story?
And he'll nod.
So I had some friends. And they were good friends, but they weren't good friends in a sense of what we did, if that makes sense. Like they were nice to me, but we weren't really nice to others. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
I
We
you
would
seem
do stuff.
nice to me.
It's been a while since then. Like I said, the thing you can do is be better down the line. Nothing I can do right now changed the fact that I was mean to other people. But I can be better now by being nice to you and being nice to others. That's how I fix this. Not by going back, but by going forward.
But how do you know when you're trying to do the right thing? But like, I thought I was helping.
That's a complicated question, Felix. I guess follow your heart, but don't let it be the only thing you listen to. You got to balance what feels right with what you know is right. And we're here to help you. Truth be told, we should have helped a lot more than we did.
he's just gonna kind of nod quietly. This whole time he's kind of been holding on to Elliot like a comfort animal. I don't know how Elliot's been reacting to that, but
Elliot has imprinted, so Elliot's pretty okay with that.
And he's quiet for a little.
We can talk about it on the way back as well. You want to get going?
And kind of as you get turning to head out, you'll hear a quiet. Do you think Mr. Ryse hates me?
No. I'm gonna kind of like go back and pull you in for a hug. Be like, just because someone's mean once, it doesn't mean hate.
I don't think anyone's ever yelled at me like that before.
Ryse is a complicated person. And I don't know him very well. But I know that he doesn't hate you.
I don't want him to. I like him a lot. And he's gonna press his face further into your shoulder.
Just gonna sit there and
when Treos, you are kind of come out of the tunnel, see them hugging.
We found Thrain. You guys take your time getting back. Be safe, okay?
all right.
Just wave off and start walking off.
Felix doesn't have a whole lot more to say.
Then I guess we'll just like slowly stand up,
Hmm.
like double check that we got everything from the room, and then take off.
All right. As you grab all your stuff from the room, Elliot included, and make your way into the woods, you're not far behind Treos. In fact, you're able to, if you want to, call out to him as you step into the forest, and you all can kind of meet up and make your way back. As it is dark out, and this is unfamiliar territory, I would like someone to make a survival check to tell me if they're getting home. Ryse, you are with Thrain, and this is Thrain's familiar territory, so you are able to get back home. The rest of you, however, have very little experience with where you are. So whoever's leading, survival check for me.
I guess I'll be ahead, so I'll roll. That is a 12.
Okay. It takes a little while, and at some point you come back to a clearing that you were so sure that you just passed through 10 minutes ago, but eventually you make your way and you stumble into another clearing and you see all the bodies strewn about, and you know you are where the original attack happened, and you can make your way back from here. So you're able to follow the little path on your way back. You don't see any sign of Lilith messing with the bodies, but you can make your way up. Ryse, as you will have probably gotten back 20 minutes or so before them, are you waiting anywhere by the gates? Are you going straight to the temple, somewhere else? What are you doing?
I'll probably be waiting outside the temple. Just kind of he'll probably be propped up against the wall, sitting down probably against the wall, and he'll be slowly drifting asleep, but trying to keep himself awake. And once he sees signs that they've entered the town, he'll get up and walk in the temple.
Yeah, you start to drift off, but then you shake yourself awake, and at first you think maybe it was an owl that hooted nearby or something, but then you realize that you see three little dark figures enter from your vantage point atop the hill, and they step out around the main gates of the outpost and start making their way up to the temple. The rest of you, as you make your way up these long steps to the temple, you see Ryse half dozing against the wall just outside the main steps. You also can see the slumbering figure of Alis inside on her own bedroll.
I'm going to take like the first opportunity and just go to sleep right where we set up in the temple.
Yeah, you all have bedrolls already set out for you. If you all want to go to sleep, minus Felix, you can. If one of you wants to stay up watch, you can set up watch.
I think we just all go to sleep.
No watch for Kai.
About what time is it at this point?
It's probably about 3 a.m. It's late.
Felix is going to, while everyone else goes to bed, pop into his bottle, and he's going to be running some identifies on all of the magic items that he has acquired up to this point,
Okay.
including himself.
Would you like me to say that out loud? Would you like me to just message you privately on that one?
You can message me privately for now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Remind me to do that in the break. The rest of you, as you slowly go to bed, the sounds of the night falling around you, you're able to stare up at the tall stone ceilings and just drift off. As you come to, it is... The first thing you notice is that it is bright out. The second thing you notice is that there are actually a couple people standing around. You see Father Jezre in his familiar robes, looking slightly less disheveled than he did when he left you the night before, conversing with a few what looks to be just members of the outpost. And you see Alis Mornhill is off on the side, stuffing what seems to be a makeshift bag that had been given to her with some supplies, and just has slung it over her back and is waiting for Father Jezre. It is about midday at this point. Let's say 11, 12 in the morning, because it is... You did get to bed pretty late, so to get your full long rest, you're waking up later. And the people who have shuffled in to converse with the priest are kind of giving you a wide berth, but just going about their business.
Kai is going to remain laying down in the bed as long as possible.
Yeah. No one's bothering you. You can stay there as long as you want. Are the rest of you getting up, doing anything? What are you doing with your days?
Felix is unnaturally quiet, and if anyone takes a closer look at him, it looks like he's meditating. He went to bed late last night. Real late.
After about probably 15-20 minutes of laying down, Ryse is going to get up, leave it there, and he's going to head out and go to Yorvan's shop.
Okay. Yeah. As you make your way down to Yorvan's shop, you do notice that it does have the closed sign on, but you do see the figure of Yorvan moving about the shop. And he looks up and raises a hand when he sees you looking in.
Okay, I'll walk in if the door is unlocked.
Yeah, it's unlocked.
And just kind of like stand there and everyone made it back accounted for, I believe.
I looked in on Thrain this morning, and thank you again. I owe you. We both owe you a huge debt of gratitude, but myself mostly for your rescue last night. If there is anything I can do for you, shoes I can offer you, say the word.
I think we're good. Are they're just regular shoes, I assume.
Well, they're very finely crafted, but
yes, you know, like just
yes.
Not mundane, I guess, but like very finely crafted, ordinary.
Yes.
lose.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
you will find the most magic we have around here is up in the temple.
Yeah. About that, what do you know about Father Jezreel? How
Well,
long has he been here, and how long have those stones been there? Um,
he moved in 5 years ago. It honestly, how time passes, but he's been here for a good while. He's been conducting his ceremonies. When he moved in, it was barely even an empty temple. Our old priest had left many decades prior. Not many people to serve when you don't get the hefty glory of the large cities. But we were just happy to have a priest with Father Jezreel, and then he started conducting these miracles, and he brought in business, and he is something of a saving grace, a priest of miracles in many ways, one might say. Though there are some Lilith who are not quite so happy he's here. But he does good work.
how long have you been here?
Grew up here, born and raised.
And those stones have been here the entire time.
I think those stones have been there for hundreds of generations.
Okay. Okay, yeah. And so we had an experience when we were rolling into town escorting Lord Alistair, who I'm not sure if you've been acquainted or not.
Fortunately, I avoided that acquaintance, but he did go on his way this morning. You'll be happy to know.
Good. Well, when we were rolling into town, that we experienced this strange storm-like thing in the forest outside the city, and I'm not sure if you or anyone in the city has experienced such a thing. It occurred however many nights ago it occurred, which I believe is about the time that about the day that Father Jezreel performed his ceremony.
You see, he gets a little confused, but he puts down the tool he'd been sort of fiddling with and sighs thoughtfully. Was anyone injured?
Not in our party. No, it was just the four of us, Lord Alistair and his assistant Elsie. And it didn't appear that anyone was injured.
Then, you are saying this was a magical storm, or
I
we
believe
do get it is wet season. We get many storms.
It wasn't a typical rain thunderstorm. No.
Huh. Well, I'm afraid I'm a simple shoemaker turned mayor. I have very little to share with you on that regard. But if it does begin to affect... I appreciate you sharing this information. If it begins to affect the rest of the village, I will keep an eye out for it.
Of course. I believe that's all we had. All I had.
Well, you've done more than enough for this village. We owe you our gratitude, as I said before. How long are you planning on staying?
We'll probably head out in the next, either today or tomorrow. We've got to get Felix back to his parents.
Understood. Well, if he ever needs an apprenticeship elsewhere, my shoemaking shop, my cobbler's shop is always open. He seems like a bright young lad. We need more of him in this world.
And Ryse is just kind of like nod just like once,
And I'll mention it.
You do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
and
And I can't interest you in any shoes before you go?
he's gonna look down at his shoes, which are probably very worn out. He's had them for a while, and he's just gonna look down and be like, I'm good. You know, with all the walking we do, it takes a while to break in the shoes. But you know, maybe someone else will, like someone in, you know, maybe next time.
Next time. If you're ever passing through again, I'll hold you to that one.
I'll let you know.
Yes, sir.
And he's gonna like awkwardly, like he's gonna try and like reach for the door behind him without looking, like miss the door handle a couple times, and he's just gonna like turn around and walk out.
Slip out.
Yeah.
While you were having this conversation, Kai, you were staying asleep as long as you can. Felix, you were kind of meditating-ish. Treos, were you doing anything or also just laying in bed?
I kind of wanted to go check in on Layla to make sure she didn't cook up any other crazy plan that night or that morning.
Yeah, you can head on out. The rest of you see as Treos sort of slips out through that front entrance of the temple, and you can make your way to the outskirts cottage of Lilith. As you walk up, you see it appears to be at first a normal cottage, but then you see there's hanging in one window a strange shapen set of bones draped in almost a curtainish pattern, and then above the doorway there's a large, what appears to be a bear skull, and next to the doorway you see a mat of what appears to be tiny little bones of some kind, and you're able to walk up to this unsettling cottage and knock on the door if you wish, or find another way in if you wish.
I'll hesitantly knock on the door.
You knock and you hear a 1 minute, and then she's gonna you hear almost a banging, crashing, almost as if someone tripped, and then you see as the door opens to a bleary-eyed looking Lilith just sort of rubbing her eyes. The fuck do you want?
Oh, wakey. Just checking in. Did our friend make it back safe? I know you did.
Yorvin? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doing something. He's always risen at ungodly hours of the morning.
Great, excellent. I just walk by her in her dazed state, sit down on the closest chair. So, what else did you do last night?
I helped Yorvin.
Mm-hmm. Nothing else?
You were there. Well, clearly nothing else. Why? Are you accusing me of something?
Am I accusing you of something?
Are you accusing me of something?
See, when I went to saw you, you know, it seemed like you were in the middle of something important. And judging by how everything else is, just pointing around the house, did you have anything else you were going to do?
Now, I know this all, and last night,
Yes, it's very welcoming. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you'll notice, no human bones. I don't do that shit.
Yet.
Well, there's mostly no human bones.
I just let out a deep sigh.
In my defense, it looked like a dog rib.
You saw the clothes on the ground. There was armor right there.
Oh, yeah. But those bodies, those don't come here. I have a separate...
Here?
I'm gonna stop talking.
No. You dug your own grave rather than theirs. What are you talking about?
I mean, you saw what I did with the owl bear in there. Look, the thing is, I want to do more, but there's this. I can't. I can only do animals. I can't do humans. And so, like, when a bunch of bodies present themselves, practice makes perfect, or like practice means I could move a finger bone or something. I'm stuck here in this stupid little village because I can't get anything worth my salt moving after it's dead, Like a rat. Anyone can do a rat. The owlbear was pretty cool, I will say.
Yeah, the owlbear was pretty impressive. But, okay, you... appreciate the drive, appreciate the ambition. Why the human bodies now? Why more?
I'm just a necromancer. There's like one every village. They just don't show themselves. Except, if you're good, you get some, I don't know, fortress on a hill. I'm stuck with this stupid thing. And I don't even get to practice because stupid Father Jezreel just keeps doing all his... He has no respect for the art of healing, Your methods Necromancy is like the other side of the coin. And he just only does the one side of the coin. Any healer worth his salt works with both.
So your methods are better than his?
Saying is, my life was a lot easier before he got here.
He just got here?
Well, like 5 years ago. Okay, my life was easier because I was like 10, but 15... Either way, life was easier before Miracle Magic Mister showed up.
You were the one everyone in town came to when they needed help.
I was! I could actually make a living and keep my stuff quiet. Now I actually have to do other shit. And until I can figure out humans, I don't have some magic fancy fortress on a hill to keep me alive.
Okay. You really
and she's gonna sit down and with a big sigh. I'm really... I was mad when you came over, but I'm really glad now because I just haven't had no one to talk to about this. Because, if anyone in town knew I did all this shit, they just, like... I'd be run out of town with pitchforks when I've been actually healing them for 20 years or whatever. So I'm really glad you seem trustworthy. Like, you're not gonna tell anyone, right? And as she finishes that sentence, she's gonna look at you and you see her eyes flash black for a second.
No. No reason whatsoever. It is better for me and you.
Fair. So do you need something, or do you just want to wake me up?
No, just want to bother you. That's it.
Cool. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Okay, get some rest.
You too. You look tired as fuck.
You get used to
I can't actually tell with all that fur, but you look tired.
Oh, believe me, my mane used to be in better condition. You get used to this, doing this kind of work.
Don't I know it?
Walk out.
She's gonna slam the door behind you, and you hear the rattle of the bones on the door knocker.
I'll just make my way back to the temple after that.
Yeah, you make your way back to the temple. At this point, a good amount of time has passed. Felix and Kai, are you still just hanging there? Is there anything you would like to do with your 1 hour left in the morning?
I think he's gonna. You go.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say he's meditating for that hour, and then he'll get out of it at the end.
All right.
I was gonna say Kai's probably just gonna eventually slowly get up, look over, see Felix meditating. He'll have some rations for breakfast, just some jerky to get him going for the day, and then he'll pull out his lute and just start playing his one song.
Yeah. At some point, Father Jezreel is going to hustle over. I am so sorry. We're doing a meditation circle over here. Would you feel comfortable playing outside, or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. Excellent. It's just a weekly thing that happens for all the mothers. They bring their children, and we all meditate circle, and I put their kids to sleep for a bit. So,
It's okay. Thank you.
yes. Perfecto. He's gonna, as he walks by, tap Felix on the shoulder and just kind of gesture in a, do you want to join the meditation circle?
Felix is not very present right now. So, no response.
Yeah, he returns to this circle of annoyingly loud, like crying babies and chatting mothers and trying to wrangle this circle of chaos in its own way into some semblance of meditation and quiet, but it kind of ends up just being a cacophony of people sitting and meditating, quote unquote. But Ryse and Treos, as you make your way back, you see Kai sitting outside playing on his instrument. As Kai, you see them both come up the steps about the same time.
I'll just give a nod.
Ryse is already packed up for the day, so I guess he'll just sit next to Kai.
All right. At some point, Alis Mornhell is going to step outside, and she's shouldered her pack, and you see she's found cleaner, albeit quite less ornate clothes, and she sees you both sitting and gives a sigh and joins you on the steps. So what is next in your days?
I guess we're traveling to Mulehessen. Yeah, that's it.
Excellent. I have a contact in Mulehessen. If you ever need anything, let me find their name, and I'll write it down for you before you go. They would
great.
be happy to help you, especially if you tell them that I sent you on a favor from me.
All right. Just out of curiosity, out of all the trips you've made in a professional setting, where does this one rank?
Well, I have seen worse, but I've also seen better. To be honest, it's rather middling. As the second in command to one of the guilds, danger is nothing I am unused to, and my own time in the Cormyrian military trained me to handle it well.
Well, there you go.
So, well, I will be heading out as soon as Father Jezreel there is done with the crying babies and kissing the mothers or whatever these priests do. We'll be renting horses and heading out, but it was wonderful to meet you all.
Likewise. I believe we should maybe be traveling your way at some point. If you need us, please.
Excellent. Well, if you manage to get into the Gilded Gates, I'm the third house on the right.
All right.
And she's just going to sort of lean back and close her eyes and doze for a little longer. After a certain amount of time, is there anything else you want to do in this time, or would you like to time jump to anything in particular?
I think Ty's going to go purchase a set of shoes.
Yeah, you can find that you will see the closed sign is still on, but you're also waved in by Yorvan and greeted warmly. Is there any particular type of shoe you are looking for?
Just stereotypical boots.
Yeah, that'll run you probably about 1 gold. You have the selection between a nice dark leather pair with some gold threading around the heel, or you can get a black leather pair with some red leather detailing along the sides.
Since I'm red, I think the red on red will clash a little bit. So you said it was that one was like a black leather pair with the gold lining on it.
There was a dark brown leather pair with golden threading.
Okay, I'll go with the dark brown one then.
Yeah. And Yorvan, thanks you for your business and thanks you for your help. You get actually I would say he's probably going to give you a discount from your help yesterday. So take the just 5 silver off. Send you on your way. The rest of you, Treos, Felix, Ryse, as you wait, you notice the circle of quote-unquote meditation die down, and all of these mothers and fathers with their children slowly trickle out. And Father Jezre eventually steps out with what looks to be a now an oilskin cloak draped over his shoulders and another bag, and he nods to Alis, and they both stand up. And Father Jezre turns to you all. Yes, well, I will be closing the temple now for some time, but you are welcome to room there for however long you need. I trust you all. But I will see you next time you pass through, hopefully. We will be off. May I offer anything before we go? Blessings from gods, or words of well travels from gods.
I'm all right, but thank you. I don't know if anybody else here.
Excellent. Okay. Well, goodbye. May the roads rise up to meet you. And he is going to start walking down. You see, as you watch him and Alis at the end of the main path, each get on a horse offered by another figure and ride off around the gates.
Before Alis would have left, before they would have left, I would have asked Alis for the name of her contact, and
Yes.
you'll have some.
Me let DM pull it up really quickly. That name would be Captain Marden Vyke. So Marden Vyke.
Does that name, and I guess in turn, Alis or her face or her voice sound familiar in any way to me? Either Alis or Captain Vyke.
Roll a history check for me.
Okay. 17.
17. Okay. Well, I will say, while she showed no signs of recognition from you, you did recognize Alis. From way back when.
Okay,
Because she was a figure in the Gilded Gates. And, the other name doesn't really ring a bell. Maybe you heard someone once upon a time mention a Captain Marden, or maybe it was a Warden Cav. Like you could have been that name, could have been another name. You're not entirely sure.
Okay.
As they're kind of like riding away, Kai's just going to turn towards Ryse and goes, "Do you think she was hitting on me?"
No, I don't.
Okay, yeah, sorry, stupid.
Did you think she was hitting on you?
I don't know. No. Like I said, it was stupid.
Um. Yeah. I don't even know how to respond to that. I'm gonna be honest.
Forget it. It's fine.
Okay. Okay. So what now?
I guess we start going to Mulehessen. I don't know if you're still planning on traveling with us after, yesterday, but
I mean, sure. There's work in Mulehessen, and it's the next big city along the way. So
yeah,
split there maybe.
yeah. I can take Felix for a while if you want.
Yeah.
He didn't mean anything by it, and I know it was a big mistake, but like we've been saying, he's just a kid. He's got to learn, but we were all kids.
Some of us. And Ryse is gonna walk down the steps.
Felix was standing in the doorway with his bag packed.
And he's gonna turn around and be like, "Hey, Felix, you ready to go?"
He's kind of he kind of just looks down for a second. Okay.
Look, he doesn't hate you. He's just a little upset right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Felix, do you need any more tools before we head out?
As you say his name, there's almost a little flinch before he looks over at you. No, I'm fine. I probably have some in my bottle.
Okay. How about any shoes? You haven't checked out the guy's shop in a while.
Okay.
Just kind of see if I can get kind of emotional on so we can walk over to the cobbler.
Yeah, you can make your way down to the cobbler. You see Ryse's back in the distance. But as you step into the cobbler's shop, you see Yorvan poke his head in from around the corner, from around the back workshop, and a smile lights his face. Ah, my lovely little cobbler apprentice. Welcome back. And friend, of course. What can I do for you today?
Treos said that it would be good if I got some shoes.
Well, we have the finest shoes in all of Northbray. Can I offer you a pair? I mean, seems like you could make your own pair if you so desire.
Do you have any extra tools?
Any cobbler's tools?
Yeah.
Well, yes, of course. And give it 1 moment, and he's going to step out back, and you hear a little bit like a crash and a bang and a curse, but then eventually he comes back with a bundle of leather, and he dumps it on the counter, and you see a full set of cobbler's tools sort of roll out and jumble, and he catches something as it goes to roll off, squishes it back. This is one of my oldest sets. It was given to me when I first became a cobbler's apprentice, and I haven't had an apprentice in many years, and I haven't looked at them in many years. So if you would like them, they're completely yours.
How much?
For saving my life, nothing.
Thanks. And he's gonna tentatively pick them up.
And he's gonna clap you on the shoulder and look at you, Treos. Any shoes for you?
Just kind of look at my heels, just click them together. I think I'll be fine for now.
Yes, something tells me my work is of the more rustic variety compared to what you are wearing. But if you ever need work boots, come back.
Oh, I appreciate the offer. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Well, I have some general other work to do, but you're welcome to stay in the store however long you need. I'll just be in the back.
Okay. We just wanted to stop by. We were gonna head home, head out in a little bit, but just wanted to say our goodbyes and make sure everything was well.
Excellent. Well, I am sorry to see you go, but I wish you safe travels.
Thank you very much.
And he's going to step back into the workshop. And you hear a rustling of papers as he pulls out a chair and sits down.
So was it Treos or both Treos and Kai that came with?
That's a good question. Kai, were you here for this interaction?
Yeah, I think I would have hung back. But
Okay. Yeah. Just Treos, then.
What? And he's gonna catch himself as we're leaving.
Hey,
You
Felix?
step back out onto the street.
Something you want to tell me?
Why are we going to Mjolhesten again?
Well, I know there was someone we had to meet while we were out there, but I can't exactly remember all the particulars. Something wrong about Mjolhesten?
No. I just thought that we were going to the gates.
I think we'll get there eventually, but with Elsie and Father Jessray heading over there, we'll probably be able to catch up with them when they get there later.
Okay. I don't know. Okay.
I know. We'll be able to get to somewhere fancier later on. Be able to, I don't know, enjoy some nice shops. Maybe find some new magic books. Who knows?
I do like books.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find some more along the way. You rested up well?
Yeah. You look at if you're looking at his eyes are like bloodshot.
Yeah. Oh, didn't you do something when we were at the pool? You gathered a book, a stone, something?
Oh, yeah. I got a stone. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Was it something wrong with that when we got it? I didn't know if it was evil, good. We had mixed luck with what we found before.
No, it's and you're gonna see that there is a magnet that has been like attached to a piece of like string that clearly looks like it was like from just like a piece of clothing that has been like tied into almost like a rope shape, and that magnet is attached to a second magnet that has the chaos magic stone on it. I found this.
Okay.
It's kind of like Ryse's necklace, his grandfather's necklace.
So they work the same way.
Yes, but it would have a different it would work with a different stone, because the stones, they don't work the same way. Like Father Jezre's stone worked on a different pillar than Ryse's grandfather's necklace's stone.
Okay. It's a nice stone. Looks good as a necklace. You think Elliot would like one too?
I mean, a necklace?
Yeah. Necklace, collar.
I could try.
Making one?
Yeah. Maybe I'll make it as we go. That's a good idea.
Okay. Well, if you make one, I got something we can add to it, and I'll kind of fish in my bag as we're walking along and pull out a little bell, little silver bell, and hand it to Felix.
Whoa, where'd you get that?
This is part of my little pack I have with me.
Oh, that's really cool. Now we can't lose Elliot. That's smart.
See, you gotta keep up
He
with our new
notices you
friend.
hear and look down, and Elliot's just there.
Okay, I'll let you know how it goes.
Perfect.
Thank you. And he's gonna be. He'll probably have like cut up some of the leather that had put together the tools originally. And start forming like a collar, if he can.